Hi guys, today we're learning about ants, and we're just going to start right now. Ants are insects, so that means that they have those three body parts, that head, that thorax, and that abdomen. They also have to have 6 legs, so 2 legs in the front, 2 legs in the middle, and 2 legs on the back. 6 legs altogether with 2 antennae. Something that's really cool about ants is they don't open their mouths like people do. We open our mouths like this, open, close, up and down. An ant's mouth actually moves sideways. They're called mandibles, and they open their mouths to the side. Ants are amazing, amazing insects. They have a brain. Their heart is just tube shaped. That red tube is their heart. And they have a different way to eat their food. They store their food in this little area called a crop. And then when they're ready to digest their food, they move that food into their stomach to digest it. So they do have a stomach like us, but they also have a kind of a storage place to put their food called a crop. What is really amazing about ants is that there are tons and tons of different kinds of species of ants, 20,000 different kinds of ants on the earth, and they make their home everywhere. So you're going to find ants by oceans, in the mountains, rotten logs out in the woods, even in people's houses sometimes. Oops, sorry, dropped the camera. They come in different colors, so there's black ants, brown ants, and there's even kind of a reddish brown ant. People call them red ants. And ants have been around for a long time. We've found fossils of ants that lived with the dinosaurs, so that's how long we've had ants on our earth. They are really amazing because they're hard workers. Ants are able to dig tunnels and catacombs under the ground for them to live in. So this is a picture of an ant colony. They live under the ground. They're going to dig a tunnel to get into their colony, and then they dig different rooms inside their colony. Every room has a different purpose. So one room would be where they could store their food when they bring it back to the colony. Another room is for the eggs. These are going to be baby ants that are still in the eggs. They haven't hatched yet. Once they hatch, they get moved over into the larva room. A larva is a baby ant. It doesn't look like a baby ant. It looks like kind of like a worm. This is a larva. Once they're larva stage, they spin a cocoon, just like butterflies and all those other insects we've looked at this week. And when they hatch out of the cocoon, they're an ant. So while they're in the cocoon, they're going to be doing that great big word called metamorphosis. And remember, metamorphosis just means changing shape. So he started as an egg. He hatched out of the egg and was a larva, or kind of like a worm. And then he spins his pupa or cocoon around himself. And while he's in there, he's changing his body. So he's got to change from a larva to an ant. So he's going to be growing some legs. He's going to be growing some antennas. He's going to be getting 3 body parts. So he's changing the shape of his body. He's metamorphosizing, metamorphosis. When he comes out, he'll be an ant. And when he's an ant, he's got to have jobs. Every ant has a specific job in their colony and their group of ants. Something else that's really cool to learn about ants, they can lift heavy, heavy things. So here is a picture of some ants picking up a bug that is much bigger and much heavier than they are and carrying it back to their colony to eat. These are some leafcutter ants. Leafcutter ants eat leaves. So they're going to cut great big pieces of leaves that are bigger than themselves and carry it back to their colony. Army ants are another kind of ant. This one is carrying a bug back to their colony to eat it. Ants can lift things that are way heavier than they are. 50 times their own weight. So that would be like your mom or your dad going outside in the driveway and picking up their car to move it instead of driving it. That's how strong ants are. They can also run really, really fast. Ants run 30 miles per hour. So that would be the same as your mom or your dad running to Escanaba and back as fast as a car would go. Ants are very fast. Another thing about ants is if you see in all of these pictures, they're working together. Ants can't survive by themselves. If they were all alone just by themselves, they would die. They need their colony to survive because they do all of their work together. They build their homes, they find their food, they take care of the queen. They also take care of all those baby ants down here, but they do it together. They also fight with other ant colonies. So right here in this picture, you'll see a black ant and some red ants fighting. This black ant has gotten into the red ant's colony and is trying to take their eggs for food, and the red ants are fighting. So when ant colonies fight, it's for food usually. And then here is a picture of all of those ants taking care of the eggs, taking care of their baby eggs. So that's what's really cool about ants. That's why I think they're the coolest insect of them all. And remember I talked about how each ant, once they hatch out of their pupa, out of their cocoon, once they hatch, they have to have a job. And these are the different kind of jobs that ants have to have. The nurse ant. A nurse ant is the one that's going to take care of those baby ants. So back up to that colony picture. In this ant room right here where the eggs were stored, you see some ants in there. Those are going to be nurse ants taking care of the eggs, making sure that they stay safe. The larva room, that's where they move the ants when they've hatched out of those eggs. That's a nurse ant taking care of the larva, making sure they have food to eat and water to eat or to drink. They take care of the baby ants. So a nurse ant's job is to take care of the new baby ants. A construction worker ant is kind of like the ant that builds that colony, builds those tunnels, builds those rooms, makes their colony bigger when they need new rooms or more tunnels. He's the one that's going to do that. A security guard ant is kind of the ant that fights off the other ants. So these guys over here, those were the security guard ants. They keep the colony safe from other bugs or other ants that might try to hurt their colony. And then we have the hunter ant. The hunter ant is those ants that go out and find food to eat and bring it back to the colony for the ants to eat. So I have a question for you today. If you were an ant, which job do you think you'd like to have? What kind of ant would you like to be? Would you like to be a nurse ant? A construction worker ant? A security guard ant? Or a hunter ant? Would you like to take care of babies? Would you like to build your colony and make it bigger? Would you like to keep your colony safe? Or do you think it'd be fun to go out and find food for your colony? All right, guys, that's all I have today for ants. I hope you enjoyed it. I really, really think that the ants are amazing creatures, and I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot from this video. We will talk to you soon. Bye.